Hello everybody, this is Tim here again. Here's my review for Annabelle Creation. If you see my other video, you know I'm not too crazy about the first Annabelle. It was like a passable movie, a low-level movie. This film is actually good. I'd give it 3 stars out of 4. It is a good film. It's not great, it's good. It's slightly weaker than Annabelle. I mean, it's not Annabelle, but Conjuring 2. The movie starts out, you got this family, you find out their daughter died, and they wanted to bring her back, and they prayed to like a demon, and it caused it to come into the house, and it invaded this doll, and it tried to possess them. It started screwing with the mom and the dad, and it caused half her face to be like clawed off, which is kind of cool. And she wears like this doll type covering over her face, which is kind of cool. And to make penance for what they did for having the demon into their place, they tried to like open up their house and make it like a quasi orphanage type place, which is kind of weird, but yeah. And once again, you got too many kids in this film, just like the other 2 Conjuring movies. What works in this film and makes it better than the last one is it's not really an Annabelle movie. The doll didn't do crap in the last movie, but here they don't even really bother to center the movie around the doll. It's centered around the demon that messes with the doll and uses the doll as like a conduit. So it's really just a Conjuring movie. That's what works in this film. The suspense and everything is much better here. You can tell they spent a lot more time and effort into this film, script-wise and like work and acting-wise. And the movie starts out with the dad like working on dolls and everything. He's playing with his daughter. She's writing like these little notes that says like "come and find me" and stuff like that, which was kind of cool. When the movie started, I was like, yeah, this is going to be much better than the last Annabelle. Then it's really telegraphed that the kid's going to get ran over. You know it's coming, and the way it's done, the scene, you know the car's coming, and she's like, oh, spark plug, because the vehicle's broke down or whatever, and something falls out of one of the tires, and she's like, oh, I'm going to get it, and when she jumps out to it, she's going to get ran over. It's so freaking obvious. That was kind of stupid. The acting in this movie is all good. Nobody does really bad in this movie. Once the demon starts wreaking havoc, the dad tries to stop it, and it like causes his fingers to bend backwards and break, which was really awesome scene. And he gets killed. The mom gets killed. There's this little girl named Janice who has like polio in the film. She does a good job, good actor, and she's got a best friend. And the kids are all cute, but there's too many kids. I can't really keep up with them all. There's like these asshole older girls who look too old to be there. They look like they should be out of the orphanage and on their own. And they don't get killed in the film, and that's kind of weird. And pretty much the girl with the polio, the demon ends up possessing, and she starts going crazy and everything. This film doesn't have a high body count. The mom and dad pretty much get killed, and there's this nun that's with the kids, and they all make it out pretty much. And then the nun like grabs the little demon-possessed girl, Janice, and throws her inside this room with these Bible passages where the doll used to be kept. And that's pretty much the end of the movie. Well, almost the end of the movie. And then she disappears, she gets away, but then this priest shows up and he's got the doll, and he's like, the doll is clean. It was a conduit for the demon. That's just a regular doll. Who wants it? I thought that was funny. This movie has a little bit more clever humor put into it, which is really cool. And then it skips some time, and you find out the little girl Janice has changed her name to Annabelle to link up with the first movie. So she's the actual girl from the first movie who ends up getting killed, who started like the demon worshiping cult or whatever, who killed her step-parents or foster parents next door or whatever, I mean. And she's at this new orphanage, and she gets adopted by the family from the first movie. And honestly, the movie could have just stopped right there. I would have preferred it if it just stopped right there. I think that would have been much better. But it goes on, and it skips a couple years, and it does enter some plot holes of like, why did the demon wait so long to become active? Why did it just sit in the girl's body for so many years and go to school and prom and shit and everything? But it doesn't make any sense. But I'm willing to let it go because I like the idea of the ending. And she's changed her name to Annabelle, and it skips a couple years later, and she shows up and murders her foster parents. And then next door, you got the family from the first movie, which I don't really like the idea that the movies reminded me of the first inferior film. But at the same time, I still like the idea of this ending. And they're like, the husband is like, I'm going to go investigate next door and see what's going on, just like in the first movie. And that's when it goes off. I really don't want any more Annabelle movies after this. It just pretty much caps off the character and finishes it off easily and good. There's not really anywhere else to go. 3 stars, good movie. Too many characters and too many girls, too many kids. And the characters in the film aren't proactive enough for me sometimes. Once all this crazy shit starts happening in the house, you think they would try a little bit more to do something about it, but they're kind of just like, they don't try hard enough. I don't know. I just feel like there should have been more effort to it. And it's weird that if a demon was in this people's house, why didn't they just move or leave or whatever once they knew that the thing was there? Why didn't they just get the hell out of there? but instead they just kind of deal with it after they put it in the room with the Bible passages. It's just kind of weird. The parents, I mean, the mom and dad, I mean, why would you allow kids into your house to try to make penance for something by allowing a demon into your house? I mean, if your house has a demon in it, why would you think it'd be a good idea to invite kids and stuff in there? That's kind of stupid. But yeah, all in all, the scares are good here. Much better. There's this scene where this sheet is moving and you think it might be the doll underneath it. But it just falls, and, you know, there's nothing there. That was kind of cool. And this girl's, like, shooting some type of gun into this dark room, and it's got a rope on it attached to whatever it is she's shooting in there. And then all at once the gun gets jerked out of her hand. That was kind of cool. Really, this movie works because it's a Conjuring movie, really in disguise as an Annabelle movie. This could just be Conjuring 3, honestly. And one thing that made me laugh was the demon is, like, pulling down the elevator, and the best friend, the little girl who's the best friend of the main girl, Janice, is in the elevator, and the demon's, like, got a hold of the elevator, the dumbwaiter, trying to pull it down, dumbwaiter, and then she takes a flashlight, like, knocks the hell out of its hands, and it's like, it just pulls back, and I just picture the demon going, ah! You know, if it's such a physical being like that you can hit it with a flashlight, why not just blow its brains out or something? But anyway, I'm kind of splitting hairs. Yeah, all in all, 3 stars. Good movie. Did surprise me. It was much better than what I thought it would be. Not a great movie, but a good movie. A good watch for Halloween time and horror time. Stay past the credits. You get a bonus scene after the credits that sets up the movie The Nun, which I'm honestly more excited for than any other Annabelle thing. I really am tired of this. And at the end of the movie, the foster parents, when they get the little girl, Janice, who's now changed her name to Annabelle, they give her a Raggedy Ann doll, which I thought was funny. Because if you know the behind-the-scenes stuff about these incidences, in real life it was actually a Raggedy Ann doll that was possessed or whatever, not like this creepy-ass Annabelle-type doll that they have in the movies. I don't believe any of these stories at all, and this movie is not really based off any case that supposedly happened to the Warrens or whatever. I think it's all bullshit in my opinion. But anyway, as far as this goes, 3 stars, good movie, good watch. I recommend it. So I'll see you guys again with the next review.